It's Gorman in the morning with Fletcher and Ryder. Now, 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning on Minnesota's 92 KQRS. It is Friday, and I'm feeling really Friday-ish, if you will. And alongside for the ride is Paul Fletcher.
That's right. Let's go Friday.
Come on, you. Ryder. What do you got for me? Got to hit fourth gear before the weekend officially begins.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
Ding. Let's get to it. I am in Atlanta, Georgia, a city for which I have nothing but unbridled love. Very happy to be here. Very happy to be with you. I am, however, always feeling Minnesota, Paul. So please, sir, please, headlines.
Oh, my God. This one falls right into my wheelhouse. Michelle Monaghan, best known for Mission Impossible 3, True Detective, is going to star in an upcoming drama for Netflix about a Minnesota high school hockey team. No name yet for the show, but the premise is the team is devastated when a bus accident takes the lives of several players and coaches. This unfortunately hits way too close to home in the hockey community, but Michelle Monaghan is set to play the widow of the coach, and she's there to bring the spirit back of the town and the hockey organization or community.
I hope she does, because I'm really sad all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
It does take a turn, but I'm still excited about the show. It's going to be
Fair enough.
Filmed in Vancouver, and it's got some pretty darn great showrunners behind it. So, like people attached to Stranger Things and et cetera. So.
Okay.
Minnesota high school hockey show on Netflix. Bring it.
Yeah. China's space station now has a smokeless oven, and astronauts are grilling chicken wings in orbit.
Oh, yeah.
The oven is designed to work in microgravity using oil-free baking and advanced filtration to keep things clean and safe. The ability to cook fresh meals isn't just about nutrition, it's also about comfort. Beyond the barbecue, the Chinese space menu has been expanded to more than 190 items, including ingredients like nuts, cakes, and fresh veggies.
What about frozen pizza?
Didn't
Is
say
that
anything
on the
about
list?
that.
Okay,
Didn't
this
say anything
thing
about
just
that.
sounds like an air fryer when they say not using oil or whatever. Did they just send up a freaking air fryer?
That is unsubstantiated.
Okay.
I hope all goes well. I can't help but think about the congressional hearings or whatever they have in China when someone's going like, so was it the O-ring or was it the computer system? It was the chicken wings.
Yeah.
When
Right.
it all goes horribly wrong. They just needed those damned wings.
I was just
I
gonna.
didn't have the courage to tell them no wings in space.
I was just gonna ask, like, do either of you want to be the astronaut on that tries it first? Like, good Lord, talking about freaking me out.
Look, I mean, I realize I'm dating myself, but in my time, astronauts got Tang, and then Tang, and then Tang, and that was it. You drank your Tang, you got your vitamin C, and you did the job, and you came home.
That's right. Agreed. The Minnesota Timberwolves are going to play in their Prince-inspired City Connect jerseys on Saturday night. That'd be tomorrow against the Denver Nuggets. And they've also unveiled a new court design for the game that features Prince's symbol. You can check it out on our Instagram and Facebook at 92KQRS. It's the entire court. It's pretty cool looking.
That's pretty badass is what that is.
That's bad. I wonder what kind of royalties they had to pay to get the symbol, though. I mean, he was a very litigious man.
Well, and the Prince estate has just been so
family,
reasonable
yeah.
with everything.
Oh, sure. Yeah. A Canadian man who took a city bus full of passengers for a joyride earned himself a criminal charge, as well as a thumbs up from a very impressed police department. The Hamilton Police Department says the real driver briefly stepped off the bus for a quick break when a 36-year-old homeless man climbed on board and drove away. There were about a dozen people on board at the time, but they had nothing to worry about because the guy actually let passengers on and off at each stop. In fact, one person tried to board with an expired bus pass, and he refused to let him on. Police eventually caught up to the bus and calmly placed the man under arrest. A police spokesperson later told the media, quote, there was not a ding on the bus. He did a great job. It's comical, but at the same time, it's quite serious. We're thankful nobody was hurt.
I know there's better ways to get a job, but give this guy a job.
Right?
Yeah.
God. Without training, he safely shepherded citizens throughout the city, and not only that, was a gatekeeper for the expired bus pass. The guy needs a gig.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I like where your head's at.
That's what I'm saying.
Target is launching new AI-powered features to make holiday shopping faster, easier, and more personalized this year. In the Target app, There's a new gift finder. AI will generate personalized gift ideas based on info entered about a person or occasion. I can actually find that useful because it's like how many times, you got like kids to buy gifts for or whatever that you don't know that well. Boom, it'll make suggestions. A list.
That's what you have a wife for.
Yeah, you're buying toys for strange kids that you don't know that well.
Well,
That's
I mean,
weird.
I guess it more fits into like birthday parties and stuff like that. But yes, we are buying gifts for young kids on a frequent basis. So it happens. List scanner.
None of my friends' parents ever bought me presents.
Well, it's from the child.
Okay.
It's not from, I don't sign it from the dad. Like,
I was a little nervous. Like, Mommy, who's Paul?
oh my God.
Just enjoy it. He bought it for you. He used an app and everything. Do you know where apps come from? You ungrateful little. Go to bed.
Oh
Give me Paul's gift.
Okay. Also, list scanner will allow you to scan and upload handwritten notes or holiday wish lists. There's a store mode and a find bullseye scavenger hunt as well. I suppose if you have the kids with you shopping, it'll make it a little easier.
Pokemon in Target.
J.D. Power has released their 2025 Sales Satisfaction Index for car buyers in the U.S. One of these really surprises me. It looks like Buick and Porsche are the big winners. Porsche ranks highest in sales satisfaction among premium brands, and this is for a third consecutive year, followed by Land Rover and Infiniti. I'm a massive Porsche fan. That surprises the hell out of me still.
That's just because, but they ask as the guy's driving off the lot and he's got an erection and he's, it's a whole different thing.
That's when they ask?
Talk to him 6 months later when the girls don't care anymore that he has a Porsche.
No, it's because they artificially added this sound.
There you go.
All Porsches sound like this.
That's that shift from second to third when he's going. It's the most exciting part.
Buick ranks highest among mass market brands, followed by Subaru and Chevrolet.
Wait, they're still making Buicks?
Oh, they've
Damn.
completely overhauled Buick. Actually,
Really?
That's why I don't recognize
This
them.
it's probably true because honestly, like in the last 5 years, I've said multiple times, going, "Wow, I would drive that."
Wow.
10 years ago, you would have never said that, right?
I'm going to have to take a look at some Buicks, man. I like you, Ryder, had absolutely no idea.
Yeah,
they still have that same logo. I just
Same
haven't seen
logo,
it
but
lately.
they've refined the logo, but all of the models are completely different. They are. They're pretty sharp, actually, a couple of them.
Right.
Alex Van Halen will offer Van Halen fans a guided tour through the band's first golden era, 78 to 1984, with a new book filled with rare and never-before-seen images from the band's private archives, exploring album artwork, musical instruments, and press materials. Alex called Van Halen's Rise one of the greatest American stories. Tentatively titled Van Halen, the release date has not been announced, but it will be published as a signed limited edition book boxed set.
By the way, totally interested in this. I will check it out. But I love when you see an artist say, "We found this from the band's private archives. It was in a box in storage," and someone goes, "What's in here?" Oh my God! Oh my God! They had a Polaroid on that tour. There's no archive. Bunch of drunk dudes with storage lockers.
Hey, so the Louvre had their big heist, jewel heist, right?
Oh, yeah.
Canada said, "Hold my beer." There was a trailer heist in Ontario, Canada this week, and the contents had some whip appeal. The refrigerated trailer packed with 30 pallets of Galea whipped cream valued at $80,000 was simply hooked up to a truck and hauled away. Police have not dished about any leads or possible suspects, but they are asking for info from the public.
That's pretty great. Just a
Whipped
truck
cream
full
heist.
of whipped cream. I was part of a hot dog bun heist back in 1984. Outside a football stadium on the campus of Western Kentucky University. 5,000 hot dog buns went missing, and I may or may not know all the names associated with that caper. Nobody was ever arrested. They never found out that there was one floor of one dorm that had hot dog parties for days on end because we had 5,000 buns. It's a long story for another day, but just basically my way of saying, sorry, Hilltopper football, our bad.
I like that.
A football game without
like
hot
that a
dog
lot.
buns.
That's terrible.
That's life in the 80s. Things like that used to happen.
I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah.
Shall we talk sports?
We should, yeah.
Okay, what was I saying? Was it yesterday or Wednesday when I was complaining about the MLS schedule not aligning with the rest of the world's leagues?
Oh,
And we
I
talked
think it
about
was
how
yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just yesterday. Well, last night, the MLS Board of Governors said, oh, you know what? We're going to reverse our league calendar starting in 2027. There will be a shortened transitional season that spring, and then we're going to run July through May like every other league in the world. They're completely flipping their schedule starting in 2027.
They were
so
listening.
you're saying they listened to this show?
That's exactly right.
Man.
MLS Commissioner Don Garber, here's a quote. This calendar shift is one of the most important decisions in our history, and I have to thank Steve Gorman in Minneapolis. No, he didn't say that. They've clearly been thinking about doing this for a while, but it just went down. The Loons have never played a home game before March 1st, and they've only played one game ever after November 8th. That will all change because they'll be playing. However, there's going to be a break in the winter months, generally speaking. You guys may remember in 2022, this is before I moved here, but I watched this game in awe. A U.S. men's national team World Cup qualifier against Honduras was played in the Twin Cities in February of 22.
Yep.
The temperature was below zero.
Oh, yeah.
And players were treated for both hypothermia and frostbite after the game. I watched that whole game going, you got to be kidding me. This is insane. So there will be some, challenges. But then again, they play soccer in Miami in August with this schedule. And so what's the damn difference? People are going to be in – these are young men in the prime of their athletic careers. They'll be fine.
Yes.
Do you move some of the games to U.S. Bank Stadium if there's like a weather
Possibly.
issue? Okay.
They got to figure out the turf and all that. But, yeah, I would think they've got to have a backup plan somewhere. I mean –
I would imagine they also will have Minnesota United on the road as much as they can in those weeks that are supposed, expected to be really, really bad here.
Baseball news yesterday. Aaron Judge was voted American League MVP for the third time. He's only the 13th player to win 3 or more MVPs. Yogi Berra, Joe DiMaggio, Mickey Mantle are the only other Yankees on that list. So that's the company Aaron Judge now finds himself in. But hold the phone because Shohei Ohtani is the National League MVP for the second year in a row, adding to the 2 he won in the American League before that. 2 in each league. And by the way, Ohtani is a 4-time MVP with 4 unanimous selections.
Holy cow.
Look out.
Good for
last
him.
Last night in the NFL, the New England Patriots reminded the world that there is true evil, and we are all suffering because they're back and they're really good.
Yeah, they are.
That whole thing after the post-Brady Patriots lull that we all loved, it's over. They're a scary team. They have won 8 games in a row right now. They've scored over 20 points in all 8 of those games, and this is with a second-year quarterback who looks great. Doesn't bring me any joy to say any of those words. The Kings, the Sacramento Kings are at Target Center tonight. The Wild host the Ducks tomorrow, 6 p.m. Vikings got the Bears on Sunday at noon. Let's all enjoy a sporty weekend, shall we? How about Hastings? Can we take a moment for Hastings?
Hell yeah,
buddy.
Hastings.
We can do that for Hastings.
I appreciate that from the both of you.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Every breath you take, or as 2 members of the police call it, every buck you take, because Andy Summers and Stuart Copeland, they sued Sting 2 months ago, saying, "Hey, dude, where's our fat checks from Every Breath You Take?" They were denied songwriting credit. They both said they contributed mightily to that tune, and they've never received 1 penny for it. This was the number 1 single in America from 1983.
God.
And as you mentioned, Paul, it's still a song that is streamed and played and listened to millions of times a year, many millions of times a year all over the world. They will be in court.
God, that's a dick move.
Sting sold his entire catalog a few years ago for $300 million and didn't even think to offer a bag of peanuts to his former bandmates. But that's how it goes sometimes. People are funny like that.
Dick move. Dick move.
He also, in an interview recently, said he regretted reforming the band in 2007. It was a regrettable exercise in nostalgia, I believe was the quote.
Oh, boy.
God.
So the lesson, as always, is Sting's kind of a dick.
Yeah.
Okay, listen.
Don't want to hang out with him.
No.
Not so much. But let me tell you something, man. That camel pose, oh, my God. He's like, you'd think he'd been a yogi his whole life. My band, Howl Owl Howl, playing tonight in Athens, Georgia. And tomorrow night in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm in Atlanta right now.
Do you do any yoga poses to warm up for the show?
There was a time, Ryder, in my life when the answer would have been yes. Yeah, there was a time
Not
when
so
I
much
was
this tour.
I was doing a lot of yoga, and it was really helpful. And if I tried right now, if I did the same things I did, say, 20 years ago to warm up, I don't think I could do the show. So, no, I ease into it now.
Okay.
I start walking to the stage, 6-7 minutes before the first downbeat, just to slowly get... No, that's not true.
6-7 minutes? Okay.
I'm kidding. No, but just some very rudimentary stretching, a lot of pacing around, a whole lot of make sure I get all the stupid random thoughts in my brain to go to that part where I just put them away for, 90 minutes.
Okay.
And then I go on stage and try to enjoy myself.
I love that.
Sounds great.
Is there any truth to the rumors, though, that Darius has been hoarding all of the profits from Howl Owl Howl, like Sting, from you and Mike?
The idea
I've heard
that
that
there would be profits on this tour is so adorable. It's just so we're playing clubs and we're playing clubs, and I don't know if you've heard much about the state of touring right now, even with ticket sales being, bonkers. How crazy is this? I did look yesterday at like the secondhand market, and the the Athens tickets, you can get in to see us for like $600 if you want now.
Yeah.
They're crazed.
We actually looked at them yesterday too.
Yeah, spoiler, we might get into that later in the show, maybe around
really?
8 o'clock or so.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
well, tonight will be a pretty great show, though, because Athens, Georgia, okay, just imagine this town. This is where REM came from. That put that town, the music scene, fully on the map. The B-52s opened that door, and then REM was just like, this is one of the world's biggest bands for the 90s up until they split in 2011. And they're from this tiny little, not tiny, but from a small college town. And they still two of them still live there full time, and all of them still have homes there. They're still very connected to the community.
Yeah.
So on top of this new band with Mike playing there, Texas and Georgia play tomorrow night in this town. So college football, Georgia's pretty serious about their college football, and they're playing Texas. Just the vibe in that town is going to be completely ridiculous. I'm really looking forward to going over there today.
It's awesome.
I haven't been to Athens in like 20 years, but used to spend a lot of time there many, many years ago. So you got Georgia, Texas, and then you got this gig tonight, and then we're getting the hell out of Dodge and coming right back to Atlanta because it's just going to be too much to deal with.
And then, so Athens tonight, didn't you say yesterday, I think it was yesterday you talked about it, you're going to meet Bill Berry tonight for the first time, yeah?
Word on the street is Bill Berry will be in attendance, and yes, I've never met the man. I've met all
gonna be a
the
cool
other
moment.
members of the band, and somehow not the drummer.
Right, which is odd. But that should be a cool moment, yeah?
Oh, sure. Oh, I mean, it's not like I'm it's not quite like the first time I met Ringo. That was like lifelong, going back to 5 years old
sure.
and freaking out and having to remind myself, if you shake his hand, don't break his hand. Like I was really worried that I would just break him in half because I would just want to pick him up and run away with him. But no, Bill Berry, it's a very different thing. It's just going to be, I can look at him and go, hey man, thanks so much. I ripped off so much from you, and your records meant the world to me, and I play music because of your band, but it won't be like I won't have a blood pressure issue when all that happens because, we're both old men now. Makes it much easier. Yeah,
but it's still, I'm excited for you for that moment.
So that's going on tonight in Athens, tomorrow in Atlanta. And then tomorrow night is kind of like my musical homecoming show. This is where I started my career. And, oh, man, do I keep hearing from people. And I'm like, guys, if I haven't responded yet, the tickets aren't available. I'm just going to let you know. Atlanta is a city for me where everywhere I go in this town, there's a memory, because I moved here when I was 21, and this is when all the fun started really in life, where I kind of was on my own and I wasn't playing the part of the dutiful son or the college kid. I just sort of dropped everything and came here and sort of rebooted my entire worldview and perspective and everything. And along the way, I can look back, and I mean, there's a memory on every street corner. It's the most, I'm flooded with emotion every time I'm here. And I was thinking about, I had a lot of first dates here. I had a lot of only dates here, in fact. And what eases you into the night, gets you past the nerves, if you will, of the first date conversation. I just went with any kind of beer. Paul went with a rum and Coke, and Ryder, of course, the PBR. So pretty standard stuff from all three of us. 651-999-ROCK is your talk and text line. First things first, either one of you guys ever blow a first date by just getting hammered?
No. Nope.
I didn't know that. I did get hammered on I don't know that it was a first date. It was a very early date, but me and Mr. Ryder still got married, so.
Okay.
I
So you
don't
didn't blow
think
it.
I didn't blow it.
You felt really you felt so comfortable.
There was definitely some puking at some point, and it was by me.
Sure.
Yeah.
I've had evenings spent in the company of somebody that happened once, and at the end of the night, I was, I'm like, wow, I think we had fun. And then when they never returned my call again, I realized, well, maybe not as much fun for her as me. I was just cutting loose. Yeah, a little silly back in the day. Won't lie to you. 651-989-ROCK. Anything popping up on the text line, Paul?
Tubby said, I would order a beer, but a little more exotic, like a Moosehead or a Stella Artois.
Oh, we can keep the date will continue if you order the Moosehead.
Except for Moosehead's awful.
I know, but it's fun and funny.
It is funny, for sure.
It's awful now, but boy, in the 80s, it was like, it was an elixir. It was like, oh, you have Moosehead. Wow, I didn't know you had such a sophisticated palate.
You're so cultured. Drinking Canadian beer.
I've had one Moosehead in the last 20 years, and I had one sip of it and just thought, oh, it was like moose piss. It was it was the worst tasting thing. I was astonished that there was a time in my life when I could have had an entire bottle of that. I couldn't believe it. It was shocking.
Ray said, Ray's got a good one. My first date with my now fiance and soon-to-be wife, congrats, who used to be a bartender, was a nerve-wracking experience. I ordered an old-fashioned, and her first response was, if you were my customer, I would tell you to order something else.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That would have been nothing short of a turn on for me. I would have been like, oh, my mama, tell daddy what to do.
Yeah,
let's go.
Jeez, all right.
Absolutely.
God.
It's fantastic. One of the first, not the first conversation I had in a bar with my wife, but one of the first time it was kind of not a date, but almost, and it was really just us by design, as opposed to making sure I would be at the same place she was, or vice versa. We were just sitting down and having our first drink, and somehow we came up on first concert you ever saw, and I said, Heart, what was yours? And she said Led Zeppelin. And my response was, well, would you go ahead and just commit to marrying me then? And she looked at me like, oh, God, get me away from this guy. And I was like, it's a joke. It's trying to be funny. It's more about Led Zeppelin than you. And she, that almost went right into the ditch. But, it worked out. It worked out for the best.
I'm glad that it did, because that could have gone awry.
Yeah, I mean, she literally gave me the look of like, oh my God, what's wrong with you? I'm like, it's about the band, not really. Come on, chill out, chill out.
Backpedal,
Anyway.
backpedal.
First drink, first date, 651-989-ROCK. What eases you into the night, gets you past the nerves, if you will, of the first date conversation? I just went with any kind of beer. Paul went with a rum and Coke, and Ryder, of course, the PBR. So pretty standard stuff from all three of us. 651-989-ROCK is your talk and text line. First things first, either one of you guys ever blow a first date by just getting hammered?
No. Nope.
Really? I didn't know that. I did get hammered on I don't know that it was a first date. It was a very early date, but me and Mr. Ryder still got married, so.
Okay.
I
so you
don't
didn't blow it.
I didn't blow it.
You felt really You felt so comfortable.
There was definitely some puking at some point, and it was by me.
Sure.
Yeah.
I've had evenings spent in the company of somebody that happened once, and at the end of the night, I was, I'm like, wow, I think we had fun. And then when they never returned my call again, I realized, well, maybe not as much fun for her as me. I was just cutting loose. Yeah, a little silly back in the day. Won't lie to you. 651-989-ROCK. Anything popping up on the text line, Paul?
Tubby said, I would order a beer, but a little more exotic, like a Moosehead or a Stella Artois.
Oh, we can keep the date will continue if you order the Moosehead.
Except for Moosehead's awful.
I know, but it's fun and funny.
It is funny, for sure.
It's awful now, but boy, in the 80s, it was like, it was an elixir. It was like, oh, you have Moosehead. Wow, I didn't know you had such a sophisticated palate.
You're so cultured. Drinking Canadian beer.
I've had one Moosehead in the last 20 years, and I had one sip of it and just thought, oh, it was like moose piss. It was it was the worst tasting thing. I was astonished that there was a time in my life when I could have had an entire bottle of that. I couldn't believe it. It was shocking.
Ray's got a good one. My first date with my now fiance and soon-to-be wife, congrats, who used to be a bartender, was a nerve-wracking experience. I ordered an old-fashioned, and her first response was, if you were my customer, I would tell you to order something else.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That would have been nothing short of a turn on for me. I would have been like, oh, my mama, tell daddy what to do.
Yeah,
let's go.
Jeez, all right.
Absolutely.
God.
It's fantastic. One of the first, not the first conversation I had in a bar with my wife, but one of the first time it was kind of not a date, but almost, and it was really just us by design, as opposed to making sure I would be at the same place she was, or vice versa. We were just sitting down and having our first drink, and somehow we came up on first concert you ever saw, and I said, Heart, what was yours? And she said Led Zeppelin. And my response was, well, would you go ahead and just commit to marrying me then? And she looked at me like, oh, God, get me away from this guy. And I was like, it's a joke. It's trying to be funny. It's more about Led Zeppelin than you. And she, yeah, that almost went right into the ditch. But, it worked out. It worked out for the best.
I'm glad that it did, because that could have gone awry.
Yeah, I mean, she literally gave me the look of like, oh my God, what's wrong with you? I'm like, it's about the band, not really. Come on, chill out, chill out.
Backpedal,
Anyway.
backpedal.
First drink, first date, 651-989-ROCK. Hey, KQ's Rock the Pantry is happening right now through November the 21st.
Yep.
9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Although, actually, give me the new hours, Ryder, on the weekends.
It's actually going to be 11 to 3, both Saturday and Sunday. This is the one weekend you have to come drop off food. You'll still get all the cool prizes and get to sign up to win the jersey and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
We are collecting non-perishable food donations at the KQ Studios. This is 2000 Southeast Elm Street. All of this for the Open Door Pantry. Every donor will get KQ swag and a shot to win awesome prizes like Minnesota Wild tickets, autographed pucks, and a signed Kaprizov jersey. More information is available at 92kqrs.com. Sponsored by our friends at MSP Plumbing, Heating, Air. If you want to swing by today, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday and Sunday, 11 to 3. First time we've accepted Sunday as well. So get the stuff all bundled up, bring it over, pick up some swag. Do the right thing.
Hell yeah, we're getting paid today. I'm going out to grab a bag of groceries this weekend, so
nice.
Giddy up.
And you mentioned 92kqrs.com. You can see there's a list of items if you want to go above and beyond and get items that you wouldn't maybe think of that they really, really need. A couple of examples: dry black beans, crunchy peanut butter. Those are two things that they really they look for. You don't typically think of those when you think of non-perishable items. So those are a couple, but you can get a full list over at 92kqrs.com.
Awesome. Joe Jackson coming to town. How about that?
Yes, in May.
Minnesota Wild, always in town. We've got tickets to both, and we want to give them away, so we're going to play a game. A little something we call Double or Nothing. That's coming up in about 5 minutes and 2 songs.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92KQRS.
Gorman in the morning, Minnesota's 92KQRS. Happy Friday morning. It's November the 14th. We're in such a good mood. We're going to give away 2 sets of tickets. We've got Wild tickets for this Wednesday night. We've also got Joe Jackson tickets May 23rd at the Palace.
Yeah, buddy.
A great venue celebrating my mom's birthday. I mean, come on. What could be better?
That was really nice of Joe.
Man, he's a gentleman from the jump, Joe Jackson. So we're going to play a little game we call Double or Nothing. So to explain it, if you've never heard it, Ryder, you explain this. You got out, you hung out with the people.
I went to hang out with my buddies at the Eagles Club, RE number 34 in South Minneapolis, where I am a proud member. And I asked them a bunch of questions. They said, Ryder, you coming to do your man on the street stick? And I was like, yes, I am. And I got their answers. If you, as a contestant, match 2 of their 5 answers, you win a prize. If you match less than that, you get nothing. Double or nothing.
It's like a carnival. It's great.
Well, you get a story. You get to say, I made an ass of myself on KQRS. No, of course not. You're competing hard. It's Friday. Let's go.
Sometimes it says the barfly made an ass of themselves, and you just really have no shot.
Yeah.
Well, they almost always do.
I'm not going to lie. All
No,
right.
I mean, that's the great thing about this game. An otherwise rational person, usually on their way to work, has to compete with a drunk barfly. It's great. It's the yin and yang of the human experience right here. Let's get on it. Contestant number 1, Brian from Spring Lake Park. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning.
All right, I'm going to ask you 5 questions, and if you can match at least 2 of those from our friend Jason, you will win wild tickets. Are you ready?
Hey, can I have the Joe Jackson if I win?
Sure.
Sure.
We'll see
All
how
right,
it
cool.
goes.
First winner gets to choose.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, 5 questions. Here we go. What is the best month for Minnesota to get our first inch of snow?
It would be February.
Besides drinking, name an activity that's popular at bars.
Flirting.
Oh, I like that. More legendary Robert, Plant or Zimmerman?
Zimmerman.
Name something people from Chicago brag about.
Oh, re-say that one again?
What is something someone from Chicago will brag about?
About their subways.
Other than 6'7", what is an annoying catchphrase?
Say what?
That is fantastic. All right, Brian. I appreciate a man who's not in a hurry. Let's see if he can match up with Ryder's Barfly.
All right, we chatted with Jason, who not only is an Eagles member, but proud bartender at the Eagles Club as well. He was off duty last night. Here are Jason's answers.
Okay.
What's the best month for Minnesota to get our first inch of snow?
December.
Besides drinking, name a popular activity at a bar.
Playing foosball.
More legendary Robert, Plant or Zimmerman?
Zimmerman.
Name something people from Chicago might brag about.
Their football team.
This year, kinda. Other than 6'7", what's an annoying catchphrase?
I'll have another beer, and then I'm out of here.
Oh, Brian, nice effort. You got 1 for 5. Sorry to say that's not quite enough. We're going to move on.
6,
Tara,
7.
or is it Tara, is in Cold Spring. How do we say your name?
Kara, Kara.
Oh, Kara, got it.
Close on that one.
Man,
Not bad.
that's
That's
all right.
okay.
You were close.
All right, Kara, let's do this. You got 5 questions to answer. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
At what age should you teach a kid how to ice skate?
4.
What makes for a better outdoor Christmas display, multicolor or white lights?
Multicolor.
Name a popular honeymoon destination.
Jamaica.
Past or present, give me a well-known Minnesota professional sports coach.
Oh. Sports coach. Oh, good God. Who's the bald guy? Fletcher?
What?
PJ Fleck is the, quote, bald guy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That's him.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we're okay. I'll move on. If you want to start a rock band, what's a good instrument to know how to play?
Drums.
Not a girl. All right, Kara. Let's see how you did, Kara. Going up against who? Nick, is it, Ryder?
Yep, we chatted with Nick last night. Here are Nick's answers. At what age should you teach a kid how to ice skate?
6.
What makes for a better outdoor Christmas display, multicolored or white lights?
Multicolor if you're tacky.
Name a popular honeymoon destination.
The south of France.
Who is a well-known Minnesota pro sports coach?
Oh, wow. Minnesota.
Don't ask me that.
Not like he was born here, but like he coached here.
Oh, Bud Grant.
Bud Grant.
Okay.
I thought you meant born here.
No, that's too hard.
Yeah.
That's too hard. Okay, if you want to start a rock band, what's a good instrument to know how to play?
The drums.
Oh, there it is.
Nice work, Kara.
Kara won herself some tickets. All right, we'll give you the choice. Do you want Wild tickets or Joe Jackson tickets?
Wild.
All right.
There you go.
Kara.
Congratulations.
Lady after my own heart right there.
All right, sit
Yes.
tight. Sit tight, Kara. We'll get back to you. We'll get your information. We got time for one more round, Ryder?
Sure, let's do one more round.
Dude,
Let's go. Pat in Princeton. Pat, good morning.
Good morning.
You ready to play a little double or nothing?
I am.
All right, here's your 5 questions. Name the best day of the week to have a Bloody Mary.
Sunday.
How cold does it need to get before you take your winter clothes out for the season?
26.
26. Name a brand of pop that is no longer made.
Dang. Pop Shop.
Oh, man, Pop Shop. Best Thanksgiving pie, pumpkin or pecan?
Pumpkin.
Name any Major League Soccer team.
The Loons.
There you go. Nice job there, Pat. Let's see who we got here. We got a barfly by the name of Amy, it
Yes,
looks
we
like.
chatted with party girl Amy. Here are her answers. Name the best day of the week for a Bloody Mary.
Every day.
How cold does it need to be before you get your winter clothes out for the season?
10 below.
Name a brand of pop that's no longer made.
Tab.
Tab?
Tab.
Okay.
Tab, yeah.
Best Thanksgiving pie, pumpkin or pecan?
Pumpkin.
Yeah.
Name a Major League Soccer team, any MLS team.
The Loons.
Yes! Man,
Nice
Pat,
work.
you did it.
Love 'em.
Amy, you did it. That is a pair of tickets to see Joe Jackson May 23rd at the Palace. Congratulations. Great news. Sit on hold, Pat. We'll come around. We'll get your info. I tell you what, I want to party with Amy.
Oh, you do?
Really?
Yes.
She's looking for a bloody any day of the week. It needs to
Holy
be
hell.
26 below before she gets the winter closeout. She's living it, man.
She's
Oh,
not
Amy-
messing around, that's
Yes.
for sure.
I
Gotta
got-
like a closer, man. The last 2 to win it. Love
I
that.
know. I got some hugs from Amy before the night was up yesterday.
I don't doubt that.
She was having a good time.
And then she went with Tab, which is always just, you know.
It's the first one I thought of.
My high school girlfriend's mom was a Tab addict.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow. That's,
Cases in the carport at all times.
that's
Seriously.
that's sad.
She fainted at a school event, and my girlfriend, God bless her, was like, "Oh no, someone get her a Tab." I'm dead serious. That happened. That wasn't a soap opera. That was my life.
a lot of tab in our house, too.
Wonderful folks, but man, that Tab, you could get strung out on Tab like no one's business. Oh, the salad days. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia right now. My band Howl Owl Howl. Final weekend of this little 2-week run, the inaugural bunch of dates for this new combo of mine. Tonight we will play in Athens, Georgia, the home of the University of Georgia, the home of the band REM, from whence one of my bandmates sprung. Mike
cool.
Mills, founding member of REM. They played their first show, very famous in those circles. It was April of 1980.
Holy cow.
Got together and just played at a party at an old abandoned church in town. At the time, it was just, some college dudes and dudes who lived in a college town just basically cultivating small-town boredom, as you once would do. And within, if you think about it, but the reason REM is so impactful to bands in the next 2 decades was they were one of the very first indie bands to just figure it all out how to do it outside of the norms of the music industry, by
Right.
which I
Okay.
mean they were playing gigs they would play a party at a house. They would go to a fraternity house to party. They would play at a roller skating rink. They would play at a diner in the South. They found all these offbeat places to play gigs, and they operated sort of as a mom and pop shop from the jump. They recognized this is like our little corner store. Like, they didn't go solicit record deals from record companies. They were like, no, let's just control everything from day one, and we'll grow slowly, but we'll be in charge of it. And the significance of that band was they sort of were a big part in creating what you would call alt rock in the 90s. Well, it was indie rock in the 80s.
Right.
And it was truly indie, independent, DIY. You just made it happen on your own. And, of course, the Minneapolis, St. Paul scene at that time, very similar-minded bands. But REM was just one of the first to break out, and they were a torch for so many musicians in the from 5 to 10 to 15 years younger that went, well, let's just do it the way they did. You just sort of wing it. But most importantly, they never took an advance from a record company. When they signed with IRS, They signed with IRS Records, and IRS was like, we're going to give you an advance. They said, no, we'll cover all recording costs. We're never going to owe you a penny.
Nice. Smart. Wow.
Yeah, they had a great manager who understood stuff. They just did everything right. They were like this band that learned from all the mistakes of all the rock books they'd read from dumb stuff other bands did. And so, and I've said a million times, I wouldn't be in a band. I would have never dropped out of college and bought a drum kit if I hadn't loved that band and seen them a bunch and then kind of read how they were going about things. They were just such an inspiration to so many people. So that all started in Athens, and they are still very much royalty there. Their headquarters are still there, their office. They still are a giant, business, for lack of a better term. They don't play gigs anymore, but REM is still a very live thing. So it's going to be kind of cool to be up there with Mike playing in a tiny little, 1,000-seat theater in the town where it all started. The first time I ever played Athens was no different and no less exciting than the first time I played Minneapolis, because those were my two music meccas as a high school and college kid. All my favorite bands, my favorite mindset, all from bands from those two places. So it's going to be pretty cool. Going to be a bit of a riotous event there tonight, I think.
Hell yeah. I think to honor kind of the DIY roots of REM, maybe you guys just say screw the show and go play at like a Circle K or whatever kind of gas station they have down there.
Yeah, man.
That would be a blast.
I would be very, very happy to do that. I had friends back in Atlanta. One of my favorite bands was called the Chowder Shouters, and their first gig was there was a gas station chain down here called Starvin' Marvin, and they put up flyers. Their first ever gig was at Starvin' Marvin, 10 p.m. Saturday night, and they just set up in the parking lot after a gas station closed and played. That was their first gig. And everybody's like, Starvin' Marvin. They're like, yeah, man, Northside and 10th. Come on, Starvin' Marvin. And they set up in the parking lot and played until the police showed up and shut them down, of course.
Man.
Their second gig, they put up flyers, said opening for Jonathan Richman at the Rollick, and everyone's like, how'd you get that gig?
What?
Well, they set up in the parking lot and played out there before Jonathan Richman's gig.
So smart.
There's always a way to do it your own way, kids. Never forget that.
Sheer genius.
As I've mentioned, I'm playing out on the road right now with my band Howl Owl Howl. We are in Athens, Georgia tonight. I'm currently in Atlanta, but we're driving over to Athens this afternoon. And I noticed online, it was pointed out to me that the secondhand market for our tickets for the Howl Owl Howl shows is a little out of hand.
Okay, back up, because these sold out like right away.
They did.
These shows
Yes,
did,
we're playing like around First Ave size venues, so a little smaller, I guess, more like 1,000 cap.
Okay.
1,200 at the biggest. This has been 9 shows. Yeah, tickets went really quickly. And so in Athens tonight, especially, it's about 1,000-seat hall called the Georgia Theater. And on StubHub and another one I saw, the secondhand ticket sites, the tickets were, I think tickets were $50, and now you can buy them. If you want one today, you're going to pay $400 or $500 or $600 for a ticket.
Ooh, that is a big markup.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
General admission for tonight, currently on StubHub, only one pair available, $446.
Oh, really? Okay.
Jeez.
Sheesh. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Okay, so two questions. Who sets the ticket price? I'm assuming the band probably has very little say. Who sets the ticket price for the venue tonight? And then is any of this resale money going to any of the artists or the venue or whatever, or does it just go to the person selling the tickets?
Well, to answer your first question, the original ticket price being set at $50, we did have some say in that because it was suggested to us we can do $75, and we all went, "Are you crazy? we don't even know what we're doing. I mean, we're going to play a lot of songs people haven't heard before.
Right. Yeah.
We're aware of the fact that there's a lot of goodwill equity built up within the band, like fans of our former bands or what we do now. It's fine. I mean, we were actually thinking like 50's a lot. But it was there. But there's a whole breakdown. Believe me, we're not making money out here. But we're just trying not to lose so much. It was one of those things where we were like, and then having people explain, tickets nowadays, blah blah blah. It all made sense. It checked out. It's all gone well. As far as the second the resale market goes, we have nothing. There's none of that coming to the artist. There are bands, however, when you have, like, say, a company like Live Nation and a company like Ticketmaster, and they're owned, and they're the same company.
Yeah.
And then you can go to Ticketmaster and get secondhand tickets there more expensively. It probably won't surprise anybody to know that there are kickbacks from that. Deals are made where a lot of artists say, no, we want to get a piece of that secondhand market as well. Because, hey, man, I mean, if people are buying all of our tickets and selling them, that's supposed to be our money. I mean, I understand the thinking behind that. But basically it comes down to this. Ticketmaster, any ticket broker, if you wanted to stop bots and scalpers from getting your tickets, you could do it.
Easy.
You can do it pretty easily. You just have to make it a little more difficult or inconvenient for fans to do things like, I don't know, make sure that they are the person who bought the ticket uses the ticket. If you want to cut the resale market down to save your fans from getting gouged, you can do it. It's just no one wants to do it.
I feel like Queen did something like this the last time they came through and played what was then XL for a couple of nights. Like there were a lot of restrictions on, we were giving away tickets, and there were a lot of restrictions on getting info and stuff like that to the venue, which we didn't normally do.
Well, individual artists can certainly take steps to do these sort of things. Like The Cure famously a couple years ago put tickets on sale, and they tried to do that. What's that pricing thing they call it? Where
dynamic pricing.
Dynamic pricing. Yep. And when Robert Smith found out about it, he went berserk and was like, "We will cancel the tour. We're not gouging people like that."
Well, good for him.
Good move.
Yeah.
But, so this is just one of those things that people, like I said, individual artists can certainly take the lead on this. I was going to say, Paul, you know Pearl Jam better than most. They're great about this stuff.
In fact, if you buy I don't know about general sales, but if you're in the fan club, if you buy tickets through the fan club, they give you better prices for your loyalty. But you also have to be the person that uses the ticket that you purchase. It would be so easy for Ticketmaster, StubHub, etc., to make tickets non-transferable. It'd be super easy to do that.
Super easy.
I mean, refunds maybe, but not transferable. It'd be very easy to do. I don't know why they continue to do it.
Well, everybody says, but what if I have to cancel? Well, guess what? Life sucks sometimes.
Right.
But what about all the people getting gouged because they don't get up at 4 a.m. and get into a queue on Ticketmaster for 12 hours?
What did you have to do back in the day with a physical ticket in your hand if you canceled?
Damn straight.
You had to find something, you had to find a place for it. So... yeah, it's ridiculous.
Well, all of this to say, a group of artists in the UK, a wide-ranging group of people, PJ Harvey, Iron Maiden, New Order, Radiohead, Coldplay, Dua Lipa. You don't see all those bands, or those artists on the same poster very often.
No.
They have all aligned. They are urging the government in the UK to cap the resale price of tickets. They're saying, guys, enough is enough. There needs to be a cap on how much. I would imagine it's probably a percentage thing on what you can actually do on the second place market. And again, this is easier done than said if the companies in charge just decided they wanted to do it, but nobody wants to do that. The music industry has shrunk so greatly. There used to be a time when touring was to promote a record. Now you put out a record to promote your tour. It's completely flip-flop. The money is on the road. That was not the case. When my career started, you could see my band, the Black Crowes, in when we did our first club headlining tour in 1990, the tickets were like $10.
Yeah, I was just going to say, 10, 15
tops.
bucks. Yeah.
We were doing theaters in the mid-90s, and a ticket was $30.
Nice work.
If that might have been $25 or $22.50.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, that's not that long ago. When you look at now, the cheapest ticket you're going to see for a theater or an arena show is going to be a whole lot more than that. What's the most? I don't know. I'm curious. Is there just a built-in depends on the context for how high you'll go to buy a concert ticket? I mean, concert experiences are still the highest rate. People love live music more than ever because so many things have been removed from the monoculture. Well, the monoculture itself doesn't exist anymore. But when you get to a gig, there's the anticipation, there's the parking, there's the pregame, if you will, the beer beforehand. There's walking into the venue. If it's a GA house, there's getting your position. If it's not, you're finding your seat. The build-up, all that is part of the price of the ticket. It's an entire experience. What's the most you would pay? Is there a cap, or does it matter on the artist? Does it matter on the room? I want to know how high have you gone, and was it a mistake? 651-989-ROCK, the Luther Westside Volkswagen talk and text line. Hit us up.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the Morning is back. 92KQRS.
Gorman in the morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. What's the most you ever paid for a ticket? Not from the actual face value, but from a tout, as they say in the UK, from a scalper or from a ticket broker. The most expensive ticket I ever bought, it wasn't from a secondhand. It was face value.
Okay.
Rosemary and I went to see the Rolling Stones in Atlanta a few years ago. It was the first tour in 22 following the death of Charlie Watts, and they played the stadium there. And Chuck Leavell, who's the piano player in the band and who played on the first Black Crowes record, and he's been a buddy. I hit him up and I said, "Hey man, I gotta get a couple." And he said, there's no comps on this tour, which there never are for a Rolling Stones tour. Every ticket in the house, someone paid for it. And I said, no, I get it. I just want to see it. And so he just sent the order. All we got was the order form, which was like the pit right up front. That was the only option. And so
very cool.
It was very cool. Those tickets were about $400 each, I believe.
Ooh, yeah. That's up there.
But that said, we were right at the foot of the stage. I mean, we were looking right up at the band, and to see them in that giant stadium, but that close, it was kind of like seeing them in a club, honestly. And then the fact that Charlie wasn't there, but Steve Jordan was playing so great. And at the moment when they came out after about midway through the set, Mick Jagger and Keith Richards and Ronnie Wood walked to the front of the stage, and there was a giant portrait of Charlie up on all the screens.
Aww.
And they just thanked everyone for all their love and support.
Wow.
And Keith was not crying. He was weeping.
Oh.
I mean, and Mick hugged him, and Ronnie hugged him, and he was just patting his heart. I was bawling my eyes out, and I was like, if I had thought those tickets were too expensive, I would have I wouldn't have known what I'd missed, but I would have been wondering about it. And it was worth absolutely every penny.
Yeah.
Because they were so genuinely all so moved, and it was just I just had to be there to say, like, yeah, I love the guy. I miss him too. It was really something.
Oh, hell yeah.
But then again, pretty much every ticket other than that I've ever paid for, I'm like, it wasn't worth it. Because I'm a grumpy Gus when it comes to these things.
Yeah.
Really? Even Oasis? I know you. I thought you loved that show.
No, it was great. It was fantastic. I was kidding. What's the most you've ever paid for a ticket off the top of your head, Fletcher?
Actually, I know exactly what it was. It was $300 for a pair of tickets to see Brian Wilson and the Pet Sounds Orchestra. They were going to do Pet Sounds in its entirety. Brian Wilson being the freak that he is, he assembled a perfect vocal team to get all of the sounds that he wanted, and we were front row. We were leaning on the stage at the Orpheum. Brian was 6 feet away from us, and we also did a meet and greet and a sound check party as well. So it was totally worth it. Yeah,
Ryder?
I might get upset here because I never actually got to see the band. But the most that I've ever paid for a ticket, and it was face value, and it was another band who's real adamant about we want tickets to go to fans, and it was the Rage Against the Machine show that was supposed to come to Target Center sometime in 2020. And I actually bought the ticket I had just found out that I was getting laid off from my bills paying cable dispatch job. So $125 was real expensive for me. They were doing some kind of crazy price strategy though, where it was every seat in the house was $125, pit, nosebleeds, whatever. And then they'd have those weird like some random ticket would be like $9,000 or something like that. And it was somehow, I don't know exactly what the plan was, but it was somehow supposed to combat bots from trying to buy tickets. So yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I mean, who knows what's going on in the mind of those socialists.
Zach De La Roche is way smarter than I am with this ticket pricing stuff.
But he shouldn't even have to do that, combating bots. How about we just don't have them? How about we just get rid of that in the ticket buying process? Anyway, sorry.
Okay, go. I think you got to go talk to Putin about that, man.
And they.
I don't think that we get to decide that here.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay.
Well, you know
we can still bitch about it though.
You got the weekend. Maybe you can make some headway on there. Just put your shoulder to the wheel and give us all a break, would you?
Gorman in the Morning is also Gorman on the go. Get the 92 KQRS app and stream live or catch the Gorman in the Morning podcast anytime. 92 KQRS.